Well, for more on how we can stop the infection from spreading is a medical practitioner, a general practitioner, Dr. Gabi Macaulay. She joins us from the United Kingdom via Skype. Thank you, Gabi. Welcome to the program. Tell us about the UK. We hear mixed feelings on the government and citizens debating on whether to lift or not to lift the lockdown measures.
Yeah, that is the really big question that everyone is asking at the moment, whether we lift lockdown in the next few days or whether we wait a few more weeks. It's a big question. And, you know, there are so many different factors involved in deciding whether it would be safe to lift lockdown now or not.
All right, tell us how important a person's immune system is to battling COVID-19.
Okay, so when it comes to immunity, it's very difficult to actually measure, you know, how is one person's immunity compared to the next. But we know that with viruses, it's your immune system that's really going to fight the battle. When it comes to COVID-19, they're looking more at predisposing health conditions as being a risk factor for a poor outcome, rather than having a poor immune system, which is very difficult to measure. So if you're someone who is an older individual, you're more likely to have pre-existing conditions such as hypertension or diabetes or even obesity. And we also know that men, somehow, they don't do as well as women when it comes to this virus. So these are things that we would really be looking at.
Well, why indeed is that? Because I'm saying we're having a higher number in Nigeria, for example, men than the women. Does it have anything to do with hygiene?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I didn't quite hear you.
So we're saying we're having more men who are testing positive for COVID-19 than women. Does it have anything to do with the hygiene of either gender?
So I think that's quite interesting that more men are testing positive than women, and that might play a role. That might be because more men are coming forward to be tested compared to women. In the UK, we know that men are more susceptible to sort of do poorly with the infection, but I'm not sure that there's evidence to suggest that men are more likely to get it compared to women. So you have to look at how many people are actually coming forward to be tested, or how many people are sick enough to actually be tested, because lots of people have no symptoms at all.
We're also having a number of people recover, not just Nigeria, across the world. Some have wondered how they can perhaps, you know, the toll that it would have taken on them, how indeed the physical, mental, and even spiritual health in order to perhaps maintain a normal lifestyle after COVID-19.
Sorry, the line is not so good. Can you repeat the question, please?
Okay, so I was talking about those who have recovered from COVID-19. How can they forget about that, living in the past, all that they've gone through, saying that it's going to affect their mental and also physical well-being moving forward?
Yeah. So I think this is such a big thing that we're going to need to think about in the weeks coming, because a lot of people, when they become sick, they're in shock. And how the body reacts to shock is by producing a lot of adrenaline, which helps you cope with the situation, and it gives you a lot of oomph for kind of fight or flight. But as the adrenaline wears off, and in the weeks after a disease, a lot of people are going to experience lethargy. They might experience a post-viral cough, not to mention, you know, many people who will experience some sort of post-traumatic stress syndrome after being admitted to hospital, after being intubated in ITU. It's a very traumatic thing. But we're not going to really be seeing the effects of this until, you know, the months to come. So it's really important that if people are experiencing mental health problems, if they're feeling depressed or having flashbacks, that they do seek support, because if left untreated for a long time, it can have really long-lasting effects.
I want to quickly get your point of view. The World Health Organization is warning against untested remedies for COVID-19. I'm sure you're hearing about several other treatments for COVID-19, especially coming from Africa. We have Madagascar, for example, the Herbal tonic for treating COVID-19. What do you make of all of this treatment?
Well, I think when it comes to Africa in particular, we know that it's in our culture to kind of go to herbal doctors for remedies where people may not trust Western medicine. And I think this is so sad and actually very dangerous for people to capitalize on other people's fears when looking for a cure for coronavirus. As things stand at the moment, there are no herbal medicines or tonics that can cure coronavirus. When it comes to Western medicine, there's not even any drugs that have been proven to cure coronavirus. There's only one antiviral drug that has been tested in a study in America, which shows that if given to very sick patients in hospital, it can reduce the length of hospital stay. But this is not in itself a cure. It's just helping the body to fight the virus more effectively. So I think people need to be really wary, and it's really important that African people do not become victims of fake medicine that's sold to them.
All right, we'd like to thank you, Dr. Gabi McCauley, General Practitioner from the UK. Thank you for joining us.